Checking. Is this thing on? Welcome to Visual Disturbance. The mud rain event is upon us. Be right back. Let's do it again. Let's try that one more time. Let's try it one more time, folks, because I got to have an intro. I'm having so many technical difficulties. I got to have an intro, and I'm not going to go without having an intro on here. So I'll be right back. Sorry about the technical issues, but let's get back into it. Let's get back on the saddle. Let's try a rewind for the intro here. One moment.
Got one that can see.
Well, welcome everybody to Visual Disturbance. I'm your host. I'm halfway here. I think I am. Whew. That was a rough intro today. Rough intro. Well, speaking of, bear with me, because once again, I'm not making this up, I have severe teeth issues, and it doesn't help my vision at all. Those that have watched my channel and watched me and followed me on here for a long time, a lot of people question. They're like, what's up with those glasses, Brian? What's up with it? What's going on? Well, actually, I have vision issues, folks. I really had an accident, and it literally has messed up my vision, but I have continued to stay strong and tried to endure to the end, literally. But when I have teeth issues and everything else that adds to anything else, it just makes things 10 to 20,000 times harder, and that's why I had a mislick at the beginning of this program. But that's okay. Thank you all for staying with me. So, sorry for the technical difficulties, and forgive me. Hopefully, I'll be able to present this material, because my jaw feels like I've been hit with a 2x4. It may be, like we say in Kentucky, maybe in a fist fight. That's what I feel like right now. Mike Tyson, it would probably, like Mike Tyson mentality. I feel like I've been beat on both sides of my jaw. Plus the brain issue, whatever, vision issues. It just wears me completely out. So with an intro, technical difficulties. But welcome to Visual Disturbance. Thank y'all for being here with me today. Let me try to endure and get through this, because I really wanted to surprise you guys with some live broadcast, and I just want to welcome everybody here, and what an honor it is, and thank you all for being part of this Visual Disturbance community. But I just wanted to apologize for all those little issues ahead of time. So the mud rain event is upon us. I had to title this program this because it's insane, like I said the other day, in the membrane. So there's been a lot of talk about this. Me and Brother David have talked about mud floods, and I thought it was interesting. I waited because I took pictures this last Saturday, seen something very odd in my, let's just say, vehicles in my driveway, and I started thinking, it hasn't even rained. What the heck's going on? You know, there's some strange stuff going on here. And I started to look around, listen, and I remember that same day I seen these planes flying around, right? Just circling and everything. You don't have to, I mean, can we blame the planes? Can we blame the planes? Yeah, like I always say on the Visual Disturbance channel, a little spray make you go cray. Well, we're going to go down the crazy rabbit hole today here on the mud rain event is upon us. So let's get into it. I did not realize that there was so much going on. I thought it was just might be an anomaly in my yard. I thought maybe that, you know, something just randomly was happening. You know, there's always something coming down from the sky, literally. But I started noticing some trends. I started noticing people speaking about it, but it was very, very small in the media. I know an individual here, I see her on YouTube. Well, I don't know her, but I see her on YouTube. I think it's called Appalachian Homestead. She was the first person I actually seen on YouTube that acknowledged this issue. And here you see her screen here on the screen. Her hand is covered in this gunk and her horse troughs. She does all these different things. I mean, she's living off the land. I mean, she's got a ton of animals, etc. And her horse troughs and everything are covered in this substance, right? It's the, let's just say, something that just makes you go, right? Well, what really got my attention, I didn't even know. Like, I just seen it on my news feed, or excuse me, my feed on my YouTube, and I'm like, why is this popping up? You know, because I think she titled it, "What's Falling from the Sky." And I went on and said to myself and contemplated on, well, should I do a show on it? Is there any kind of significance to it? But, you know, I've got the stuff, you know, there's stuff outside, but maybe it's just an anomaly and maybe some kind of, you know, something strange coming out of the sky, like always, right? Well, she goes on to present these slides. And mind you, she lives in Tennessee, and I live in Kentucky. So she sees this powder substance all over the windshield and then on another part of her back of her windshield. But let me tell you something. I think Tennessee from my facility here, let's just say it's about 2 hours, roughly an hour and 50 minutes away from the Kentucky state line to the Tennessee line. And it covered a good section of real estate. Let's just say that these states was covered, and I said to myself, "There's no way. Maybe it's just Kentucky." But when I seen this woman post something around, I think it was Sunday, and I couldn't believe it. And I thought to myself, "Wow, that's strange." And so I started digging into some stuff. Well, I seen on the news there was these news outlets, right, speaking about things and talking about things. And I started thinking, man, that's weird, right? And well, let's just, before we move on to that, let's show the pictures that I had. I'm kind of getting stuttering here because my mouth feels like I said a 2x4 smacked it. Literally. Or a milk crate came by at 100 mile an hour and slapped my face. It's a whole inside joke. A lot of people don't know that about me. I've tried to stay away from it because it's just so like, it's a tough subject. It just aggravates me. It's like a thorn I've had to go through some infirmities for many years, and I'm having to deal with a lot of, let's just say a lot of drama. And, when it comes to the whole milk thing, because a lot of people don't understand, a lot of people unsubscribe. They think I'm just making stuff up and lies. It's just ridiculous. My occupation used to be a milkman, and I get drug under literally in the mud, man. People be smearing my face, literally in the figurative sense, all over the place, just saying some derogatory, evil things on comments. And it just shows, like I said many times, where your heart is, and it just makes people look foolish. And I really do. I thank you all for being, with the good comments, the bad comments. I welcome them. But just please quit it. It's crazy. It's just crazy. It's crazy. It's absurd. It's just crazy. Bizarro world, 2025, we don't have time for this nonsense. Oh, his glasses. What is that? And it's 3D glasses. I can go buy them. No, you actually can't. I can't even find a new pair of these. I've been looking for I need a new pair. They're medically, you can't just find them. You can't just order them on Amazon. I've been trying to actually find a new pair because these are tearing up on me. So it's interesting. A lot of people mock me and ridicule me to the hilltops, but maybe they're consuming too much of this. Maybe there's a little spray make them go cray cray. You feel me? So with that being said, let me show you some authentic footage, or well, not footage, but photos. So I wanted to verify that it was me. And these pictures of the lady from the Appalachian homestead. That is me. That is me there. And as you see, it looks very familiar from the woman in Tennessee. On her windshield, she's, you see these specks and everything. But I can tell you right now, in Kentucky, we must have got some more mud. It must have been flotating mud, and he must have just spewing it out every which way from the UFOs. I'm just joking. But it gets even worse. So if you look at the top of the vehicle, look at that. Doesn't that just look so cheerful and just so? Don't it just make you just want to go out there and just try to say, man, there's nothing wrong. There's nothing falling from the sky, Brian. That's just precipitation, man. We got rain coming down from the sky. That's just the typical stuff. But and then people will say, well, there's pollen, right? This is the year of pollen. Well, I'm gonna tell you something, folks. It's a little too early, but we are in March. Here we are, early March. This does not look like pollen, but it does. I've seen pictures and stuff, but this is the point. With the woman's horse troughs and everything, and it looks like chemical. It does. It looks like some kind of compound that's strange. So I'll have some more video or photos here. Windshield, look at that. I mean, would you just look at that? And it gets more surreal. It's on the back end of the vehicle. And it looks like somebody 4-wheel drive and went down by the river in Kentucky and started doing some 4-wheel drive in a vehicle. And then the whole, got the hood there and there's mud. It looks like somebody just sprayed something strange out of the sky. Well, the reports have been all over the media, right? But it's been not really mainstream. A couple of news articles here. See these kinds of drops on our cars tonight. I found this on Facebook. You're not alone, as this part of a phenomenon simply known as mud rain. Mud rain's coming around from the atmosphere and spraying your car like it's going through a car wash with mud on it. Okay, and it's interesting. The next one was this is a news article from West Virginia, a couple states over from me, or a couple states. Forgive me, I'm hurting really bad. So explains why mud rain fell across the West Virginia. So you have West Virginia, you got Florida. I've heard many accounts, people complain, all over Ohio, all over down the East Coast. Not so far up the northern side of the East Coast, but I'm seeing a lot of patterns. It's from, Ohio down, all the way covering the whole area. And it's kind of interesting. So there's another article here. Mud rain hits an area in our cars. Many local residents were scratching their heads on Saturday morning as they looked at their cars and trucks covered in an unusual sort of dirt pattern. Well, what's strange is West Virginia is a pretty good haul from me, and they have abundance. So as it must have went from left to right, from east to west, and then Tennessee didn't have as much remnant of it. It wasn't as bad. That's what it looks like to me, but that's just my opinion from observation. So let's use our trusty old grok. I wanted to incorporate that. I don't put all my stock in it, but I wanted to know if there was anything that grok had to say. And that's, if anybody doesn't know that, it's an X platform AI. And I thought it was really compelling. So check this out. So mud rain, well, hello out there, mud rain. But let's get that out of the way. Mud rain can refer to a couple different things. This is what Grok said. So he said, it says it's going to break it down for me. A literal phenomenon, weather. Mud rain, sometimes called dirty rain or rain dust, is a rare weather event where rain falls mixed with dust. Isn't that interesting? We did a vapor canopy show not too long ago. Or soil particles. This happens when strong winds, which we're getting ready to have here, we're getting ready to have a phenomenon when it comes to weather patterns. And it's kind of interesting, this stuff last week, and then all of a sudden, let's just say, give you a little supercharged of whatever ingredient, and boom, boom, goes the tornadoes and vortexes. Seriously. This happens when strong winds, often from a distant region like a desert, this is what's so bizarre to me, carry fine particles into the atmosphere, and those particles get caught up in their rain clouds. When the rain falls, it brings mud or dust down with it, leaving a gritty residue on surfaces like cars or windows, like we're talking about and looking at it, observing here. For example, this has been observed from places like Europe when Saharan dust gets swept up by storms and carried north. It's not common, but it's a real thing. Nature's way of reminding us the planet, here we go. Planet's all connected. We get connectivity, right? And it goes into these culture, fictional references, and goes on about mud, rain, etc. But that's not really, that's just extra stuff that Grok explains. Well, I want to point this out. It's interesting to me. I'll never forget it. They're always claiming that the Sahara Desert, is making weather issues. Have y'all heard this lame excuse? They'll say that the sand of the Sahara can be picked up and transported anywhere on the earth. I kid you not, one time they claimed it was over here, they claimed it was over there, they claimed it was in Russia, said that it was making the snow orange. Yes, that is a phenomenon. That's a phenomenon. That's an anomaly, all right? That does happen. But I can promise you this right now, that they have no clue what they're talking about. How can you pick up a large amounts? I mean, I've seen insane stuff. I mean, it must be cyclone. It must be 250 to 5,000 miles an hour of wind current above our heads and just pitching it all over the place. There's just no way. So I can't, give you a definite answer that this is from the Sahara or whatever, this anomaly, like Grok here is reporting in Europe. But I can assure you, wherever the mud's coming from, it ain't good. It ain't good. So let's just think about it. Is that stuff good to breathe in? Is that stuff good for, let's just say, I got one for you. This is our year. This is the month when we start prepping for, let's just say, agriculture, right? When you're going to be a farmer. What if the mud rain, magically delicious rain, comes from wherever and it changes the soil? Right? What if there's something, let's just have fun here. What if the mud rain changes the soil that you have? And if you have fertile soil like we do in Kentucky, could it change not only the weather phenomenon, but could it also be changing what's on the soil? So that's just my 2 cents in taking this all in. But it's absurd to me. Reports are all over the East Coast. I've been hearing it more even when I was getting ready for this presentation. People are saying, hey, I got mud on my windshield. Some people are saying, I haven't moved my vehicle for 2 weeks. Why is there mud on my vehicle? And this all periodically, it sporadically happened on Saturday. And it's just interesting. It's interesting. It's time for a little sip of kombucha. Yeah. So, yeah. It's non-alcoholic, I can promise you that. So that's kombucha. Yeah, I always try to find some that doesn't have alcohol in it. Absolutely. That's just how I roll. That's how this good old Kentucky boy rolls. So, yeah, that's good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah. So anyways, it goes on, and they're talking about these anomalies. And I'm thinking to myself, this can't be just a coincidence. And then fast forward to now, here we are on Tuesday, and then on Thursday, Friday, there's supposed to be horrific weather patterns. Okay, I've been watching these meteorologists and then these, let's just say, freelancer meteorologists talk about 150 mile an hour winds coming down. There's the dew pressure, all these different things, atmospheric pressures coming down and pulling from the north, and the pressure of the air is going to be so intense. And there's like these reports of 150 mile an hour winds in Texas above them. It's insane, like straight line winds. And it's supposed to be like this big cesspool of like directing toward the east. We're going to have severe, hellacious storms supposedly between Friday and Saturday. And it's supposed to go up all the way from my neck of the woods all the way up through the East Coast, and boom, boom, probably going to cause, I'm praying it doesn't cause anything. But as we are speaking here today, the wind is picking up here, and it's kind of strange to me. And it's really getting warm. It's pretty warm to me. We haven't had any more rain But it's just, in the last little bit, but it's just strange. This is all going to be, the floodgates are getting ready to open, so to speak. So let's just think about this weather phenomenon and think about, could it be possible that they're doing something that is, sinister, It's just interesting to me that we have people that gaslight the far out of us, like literally. And then people are like, well, Brian, you can't speak the English language clearly. And your teeth are falling out of your head. And you got vision problems. That's your fault. People's always like pointing, trying to, all this. It's just insane. It's crazy. You have to shrug it off, You have to shrug it off. You have to endure. Like I said at the beginning, you have to endure to the end and shrug off all this nonsense. And, it doesn't, like I said, I welcome all negative and positive comments. And thank you all for being here since the beginning. But there's a lot of new people that come in sneaking in unaware, and like to try to dump a little garbage can every now and then up into the community. There's a lot of things. I want to apologize here. I have a Facebook that's literally, there's a lot of people that follow that, and it's hard to go through every single comment. It attracts a lot of different people, different walks of life, and that's really what my intention was, is to do that. But sometimes they become really harsh, and there's a wickedness to it, an evilness to it. So I'm going to go back and look at this woman's slide or this screenshot of what she was representing on her channel. So she's having to clean out her horse troughs, all of her drinking sources, water sources for her animals. So here's the thing that I'm asking myself. If this is in this horse trough, it is going to be in the bodies of water. So our water, let's just say our water reservoirs and our water sources, wouldn't that be contamination? Am I wrong? Am I wrong, folks? Isn't it all going to go downstream? You feel me? And you have your water sources and everything. Isn't that going to happen? Isn't that going to happen, or is this all going to just magically just disappear and disintegrate? So, not only agriculture, so that's what I thought it was timing. The timing of it was impeccable to me, because you have last week, seriously, we just got into the month of March, agriculture and plant life. Excuse me, and you have to think about it. What is the agenda? Is there agenda? Is this from the Sierra? Is this from the gateway, a portal to Machu Picchu? Academia is making up so much falsified. It's like make it up as you go along the day, right? And these meteorologists and everybody's like, they just go along to get along. And it is mind-numbing in my brain. It's the climate, This is what you get. This is what you get down there. And I don't know about you guys, but the Appalachian Mountains and all up and down the East Coast, it looks like it's just turning into a big old, we've been getting hit. We've been getting hit since last year. Crazy, right? People going through it, right? Like I said, a little cray-cray make you go, a little cray-cray. A little spray make you go cray-cray. And I really do think, I'm trying to watch what I say in encrypted language. When they're emitting, oh, man, jaws broke, feels like. When they're propagating and literally emitting, and you can go outside and see a little tic-tac-toe action, it doesn't take the sharpest tool in the tool shed to understand and articulate that we are the bugs. We're getting sprayed. It doesn't, And then there was an individual, me and him about last year went at it. There's a well-known meteorologist in my neck of the woods, and he was literally saying to his whole audience that we was all idiots. He said that to his followers, and and he was saying y'all conspiracies and talking about chemtrails and all that different stuff and, different contrails, etc. And I'll never forget that. So he's good at one thing and one thing only, and it's called predicting the weather with your little toys. But I know he'll probably have some type of academia stance on the molecular structure of the sand domes or the mud it was coming up to a moisture and it was picked up from Kansas City or something, and it just sprayed all over the East Coast. Whew, man, I don't have all the answers, folks, but sometimes when I don't have all the answers, I don't sit there and just make a bunch of stuff up for likes and views. It blows my mind. Be real for something. Do something. Like, be genuine. Be holy. Like, speak truth. Don't just speak rhetoric just to get people to like and view something and just, oh, look at me, I'm famous. That's not a road you want to go down. But it seems like the society's headed that way. And it just shows that, I don't know, 2025 is very strange to me. Very strange. But that's enough of me rambling on about that. But I did meet, I kid you not, a couple years ago, speaking of a milkman story, it was like textbook. Every time you go to this location, here comes the local meteorologist and the news anchors coming to this particular. It was every time. I couldn't get away from it because the way my route was laid out. I'd always see this certain gas station. I always see certain individuals. I'd have to go deliver at this certain gas station. And these individuals walk in there, and it was like, I mean, Pharaoh, the king of kings, some kind of insane, let's just say, you know, even to a celebrity status. Like, roll the red carpet out, forget about the milkman. It's 100 degrees outside. We got condensation all over the milk crates, and the milk's pouring out everywhere. And literally the manager would be like, hey, and he'd say a certain name, and these men walk in there, and I tell you what, my discernment meter was so going off, and I couldn't even stand it. And I always pray for them guys. I'm like, man, you guys are here for show, and I believe it's going to come. Here's what they'd say. The manager would make a comment. What's the weather going to be? What you got in store for us? I believe it's the current's coming in. We're going to have some good weather. And then they'll say, well, not too good next week. And it was just, I mean, it did not resonate well with me at all. And all hail the great king, right? That's how they would act. And I will just say, I'm not a big fan of the meteorology around here because they never can get it accurate anymore. AI is either taking over or they're sitting there just drinking too much coffee, not even explaining what's going on. But there's my two cents of being, let's just say, led astray by nonsensical mindsets where people think that they have all the keys to knowledge, and they mock and make fun of people like me or the people that are like bowing before them and licking their boots, which is insane to me. And I'll just tell you, when that happened, it happened several, probably more than 25 times at least, every time. It was almost like they was following me, but hey, you know, whatever. I hear a big milk truck, you know, I got milk all over the floor. I would literally just get tired of it, and I would be like, you have a blessed day, here's your ticket. I put the milk in the cooler because here's the thing about a milkman. You have only a few minutes. You cannot have milk sitting properly on a floor without proper refrigeration. And I just couldn't bear it because I knew that the milk would go bad and people would get sick. So that was my top priority. Customer service, making sure everybody got their milk properly. It was well temped, good date, and it was good for consumption. Well, when the red carpet gets rolled out because everybody around here worship these people like they're little G gods, and it's mind-numbing. Working hard, sweating at the brow means nothing, it seems. So yeah, there's my ranting. But I wanted to kind of share what's on my heart too, because a lot of people ridicule me and persecute me and hang me at the stake because they think, oh, it's just all for show, it's all props, his glasses and all this. I can promise you this, it's not. I made the Visual Disturbance channel because literally somebody in our ministry said, Brian, do you want to make a YouTube channel? I said, well, sure, why not? And I didn't know what the name of it was, and it dawned on me. I said, hey, why not fit to what reality I'm living in and then enduring the infirmities and all this nonsense? And I called it Visual Disturbance. That's what I called it. So, there's my ranting. Oh, man. So, moving on. This powder substance, too, is not the first time that I've seen this, but not as bad. This is... So I've seen pollen, I've seen white substance, seriously. More like this, but not like what I have on the vehicle, in my own vehicle, right? So to pull something off like this, I'm not 100% sure because we're not even close. I mean, I'm not even close to a huge body of water around this area. We're in a mountain range area. I don't understand. I mean, but since the thing happened down in North Carolina, I can understand that they can do about anything if they want to. When they had these poor folk down there, they had the mountain ranges, and then that poor communities got flooded out. They can pretty much do about anything. So, let's get off my rant. A rant about me and my past history. I just want to clarify that. Anybody watching this, like I said, I welcome all negative and positive comments. It doesn't matter. If that's what you want to do is ramble on and, try to, execute me pretty much, seriously, with your verbal language. It just shows where your heart's at. So, but thank you for being here. So, I have this idea. I have this, let's just say this, I just had this thought, okay? I have this thought. And I had it today, and I was thinking about what's coming up in the news, right? A lot of news, a lot of groundbreaking. Oh, it's heart-stopping entertainment is what I'm hearing. Heart-stopping entertainment. And I want to talk about UFOs, and I know it's not along with this mud rain, but I will say, if you remember, and it actually does go along with it. New Jersey event, if you guys remember New Jersey, they said that there was something spraying. Some of these drones had stuff spraying on them coming out. So I don't have the article up for this show, but here's the fun comical part. I had a family member just tell me this the other day, but there's a local, let's just say, army place around here, and they've told everybody on their Facebook page, don't be alarmed. The drones, we're going to have drone training. Drone training. Well, that was just like a day or so ago, and I thought, well, maybe they had drone training and they maybe been in the mud with their flat, their blades from their propeller systems. Maybe the drones was stuck in the mud and they spinning that mud everywhere. It's a little fun entertainment plug-in for here on Visual Disturbance. But I kid you not, every time I hear drone training and you go outside, I mean, it doesn't take a genius. You can go up to the fence line, you can see the signs, and it literally says if you're caught here throwing flying drones over top of this facility, you get 5 years. I think it's 5 year felony or 5 year in jail. It's a felony, blah blah. But hey, bow before us. We have all the knowledge, and we're going to deploy the drones. Well, they did the same thing in New Jersey. And look how that ended up. People in panic mode and pandemonium in the streets. People having panic attacks. Well, I guess we are the site now. I guess they sprayed the sewage septic tank exploded on on the flight to India, and it smeared all over the East Coast. Maybe that's what it is, folks. But yeah, no joke. In my neck of the woods, we're gonna have drone training. Isn't that just so inviting? Isn't that just so inviting? I can't wait, right? Can't you just wait? I can, because there's gonna be some programs, and last night I was doing some stargazing, getting ready for some programs and looking at the stars and looking at all the anomalies in the sky. Took pictures of the moon, all these different things, and these different because I'm using them from different programs coming up in the near future. It's just interesting that the drone training is going to commence, and they're going to have probably the same narrative. What do you want to bet me? And this facility supposedly is harboring a UFO craft, let's just say Vimana, from the Gulf War, and it's in that facility. Riddle that one, folks. Don't worry, go back to sleep, get you some mud, and we're going to do an artificial mud flood. We're going to do like the back in the day, if you have seen the mud flood program or even research mud floods. There's been many accounts that there'd be 100-foot waves of like mud. I mean, literally. Walls of mud would come in and consume the valleys and consume the villages, consume cities. And is that something we're building up to? Is the event getting ready to pop off? Are we really going to have a mud rain event is upon us? I mean, seriously, folks, what is going on? Deploy the drones. Deploy the drones. We want to make sure the public is okay. We want to make sure they're okay and they're well fed with a bunch of fat lies. And mind you, last year, there was, and they're still up if they haven't blown away from the straight line winds. SpaceX, or excuse me, not SpaceX, excuse me there, Elon, but Space Force. There's literally flyers. Inquire about Space Force here in our local community. Yay, yay! It's insane, folks. It's insane where we're at. And I'll just say this: a cognitive person, anybody with any intellect at all, an IQ, knows. I mean, you can. I don't understand. Like, you have to be able to navigate through this world and understand that everything is not what it seems. Okay, it's not the Yellow Brick Road of Wizard of Oz. We're not sitting here, watch out for those golden arches. You know what I mean? Don't go up in the drive-thru. You feel me? And you go and you're taking and you're consuming all these things. There has to be something going on with our reality. It must be. We must be getting some of these particulates that's making us go cray-cray, and we're not cognitively obtaining our reality. We're jumping on any kind of rabbit trail, and if anybody says anything and they have a PhD in 14 trillion so-called, let's just say, degrees, people file hook, line, and sinker. And if you speak about here, you can speak about different religions. You can speak about different things. You can all hail the Pope, right? But if you say Christ or anything to do with anything biblically, they run for the hills. It's insane where we're at. It's insane. It's insane. It really is. So, I thought about the breakaway civilization theory. Okay? So I keep hearing a lot of chatter about the breakaway civilization. There's like this high-tech of civilization. Heck, I even heard the other day that the phallic over there, there's all kinds of phallics every which way when it comes to archaeology. When you look at the Vatican, you look at the Washington Monument, you go back to Egypt, the Karnak, all these different places. There's a network that literally says that is a machine. Those are machines, and they're giving the knowledge to the humanity. And that's what they're claiming now. That's their claim, folks. And how insane that is when it's not logical, critical. It's like insane. It's like completely off into Wonderland. And to me, that is very dangerous when it comes to let's just say trapping an individual and really not being true, not genuine, like truly loving somebody to say, hey, I'm not going to lie to you. It's just blowing your mind. People are so consumed with being on a high pedestal, and then they forget what they're doing. It's damaging to the body. It's damaging to people when they truly are just faking everything. It's insane to me. It just makes my soul hurt. So, excuse me. Speaking of the breakaway civilization, I don't have a slide for that. But, hey, check out that water bottle. Check out that water bottle there. Yeah, stay away from that. Stay away from plastic. So, I just seen a thing the other day. If you drink out of those for a year, I gotta watch what I say. If you drink out of, water bottle that, is made with the P word, it's like consuming 52 credit cards. So there you go. There's some rambling, but that's a true fact. A true fact. So, could you imagine? Could you imagine though? Could you imagine? Seriously soon on this Visual Disturbance channel, we've deployed the drones. They're here. Don't worry. Everything's safe. And I can assure you, this community right here, it is the only county that I have seen in Kentucky that put a system in place for emergencies. Now, I'm not talking about the old system because we have, let's just say, stuff hoarded up in the so-called facility that goes back to World War II. I'm talking about these new systems that are energized, have solar panels and everything they can run, right? And they're everywhere. These big old megaphones. It's kind of ironic. I might be in the battlefield. It might be like this one day. Well, wake up, go outside or something middle of the night, and it's on like Donkey Kong, right? I mean, the stuff, the cylinder-shaped objects, all this stuff's popping off. The great alien card will be deployed, and maybe it's the hub. And I've said it for a long time here. that Kentucky has got so much stuff underneath the ground and so many materials, and I can promise you this, it's a hub for something. When you look back into the Atlantean concept and different archaeology, this place is not no joke. And I'm not trying to brag about it because I was born and raised here. It has nothing to do with that. I think there's a lot of eyes on these lands around here. And I guess they're going to deploy the fake alien card. And I guess this good old boy with vision issues and teeth falling out will be like the Beverly Hillbillies. And I'll be like, trying to pop, lock, and drop it, in the backyard, literally, and having drones fall from the sky. I'm just joking, that are not human origin, supposedly. How insane we're at, folks. Fallen angel technology. And it just makes me sad. Sorry going a big rant about all this, but it just kind of resonates with me. Here's where I'm at. I love the old ways. But I'm not going to say I don't like what we have, technologically speaking. I think there's good in things, like good to use for advancements, right? But I like a good old story. When I was a kid and I seen my my great grandparents and my grandparents work hard, right? Really, really Little House on the Prairie days. Okay, I'm not that old. I sat on horse and buggy a many day, right? Watching it, and no, I'm not Amish, no, I'm not Mennonite, and I'm not throwing off on the Amish or the Mennonite people. They are advanced when it comes to agriculture, and they're like, they can grow about anything and make anything happen and build something. So, I mean, it's like artist work, what they can do, okay? So, but I kid you not, Little House on the Prairie days when I was a little boy, a little lad, listening and seeing these things and get to watch horseback, horse buggy, all that stuff, and going and seeing things. I kid you not, Kentucky's been suppressed. Kentucky's been suppressed for a long time. And people nowadays don't even see the any kind of danger. It's almost like we're just aimlessly walking around, and they don't understand how good work ethic goes a long way. Let me get some water. And I would advise anybody to have, like, if you think that you can't, like, do anything, and somebody in a higher so-called position has put you down so bad that you can't even, you're like, your brain's full of mush, like this mud here, it's probably time to get a new job. And then use your skills for other things and make it worthy of somebody. When somebody comes and says they can use you for something and you can work hard and have good work ethic, they will respect that when it comes to a godly sense. But that's another thing. People claim to be godly and have this godly mentality, and then they just use it to, let's just say, manipulate the minds of people and use you like I was talked to a long time ago, not too long ago. You're a grunt. You're on the front lines. You do what you got to do. I own you because you signed a contract. That's where we're at. And I think Kentucky has been miscued. I think let's just say the powers that be, the Green Light Special Man, a lot of people don't get it. But if you're from this neck of the woods and you heard the great and powerful Oz, the great man behind the green curtain that used to get up and have his 4 o'clock special for like years during the last, let's just say 2020 narrative. And just check out them green lights, you know what I mean? Insane. So, but yeah. So, just about make your, yeah. In other news, I'm going to do a program here coming up on Sunday night. Okay? Be very respectful on this topic that we're getting ready to present on Sunday Night Live. I'll give you all a little preview. We're going to be talking about the shape of the earth. Let's just hint around here. The shape of the earth and some biblical cosmology, folks, on Sunday Night Live. And we're going to be respectful on both sides of the, let's just say, the fence when it comes to globe or heliocentric or flat, biblical cosmology. And we're going to have a good time with that. And we're going to bring it up. We're going to bring some, let's just say, some stuff you've heard before, but we're going to bring it from a biblical perspective, and we're going to be bringing it from all kinds of different angles. Yeah. And tonight, speaking of, before we move on a little bit more of the program here, we're only 45 minutes in. And I don't get to go live much here on Visual Disturbance. Tonight, Brother David's having a book review on the FOJC program, Underground Church. Book review is popping off tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So literally in 2 hours, we're going to be doing a David Carrico book review. So I would, be thankful if you would roll over there and check out FOJC tonight with Brother David Carrico, the book reviews, because he does a fabulous job. And I think the book review series is just epic for the program and for the channel and the ministry. So check that out tonight on FOJC. So moving on here. So I gotta go on another rant. Here. Let's just go ahead and see if I can do something here. Maybe pull something off on this program here. Hang on a second. Hang on there, folks. Hang on. Well, there it is. Isn't that interesting? That's my Grok there. Grok application. Let's just see. I'm gonna throw this out here. Let's have some fun here. I'm gonna type in, is there such thing is a breakaway civilization? Let's just see what happens. I probably misspelled it, but that's okay. I sure did. Thank you for correcting me, Grok. Yeah, I did. I misspelled it there, but that's okay. Because like I said, I feel like I've been hit with the boomerang. Well, that's new. Australia. Australia, folks. I know a lot of people from Australia. God bless you guys. But yeah, I feel like I've been hit with a boomerang and a 2x4. I spelled civilization wrong. Okay, so yeah, the origins of the idea, they get into the UFO historian Richard Dolan. And you look at, and people claim that there's a technological superior authority and all these different things, reverse engineering alien tech or suppressed inventions kept under wraps. Well, you know what's so interesting? I'm just going to throw this out here. You know what's interesting? I had a grandfather who served in the Navy. But people out there in the world of YouTube and all over the earth, I can't get any of his Navy records to save my life. Seriously. And I'm sitting there wondering and articulating my brain, what in the world happened? He was an engineer, supposedly, and very intelligent man. But I'm kind of wondering when it comes to Navy applications and military applications back in the 50s, I'm just going to tell y'all something. The rabbit hole goes deeper than you think. Project Montauk Project and all that, that's a deep, dark rabbit hole where stranger things or creepy crawlers, it's going down, okay? You don't want to be popping off in that realm. But this breakaway civilization, I've heard a lot of different things about breakaway civilizations. And mud floods. Not them spraying mud on the populace, Let's spray them with mud. Let's come by here and filter out our instead of the, fighter jets, what we have, but they're, our advanced, Vimanas, the Ofanas, like, let's deploy the sewage, I'm kind of being sarcastic because the sewage system, that whole thing, airplanes, etc. I kid you not, folks, people are insane, okay? They was making insane things about these planes crashing, all these different concepts, and saying the sewage system. They're making all these. I mean, it's bizarre. Why would they even talk? What's going on? It's insane to me. So sad, so sad. And people are so gullible to accept that. It just blows my mind. Sewage systems, folks. Septic tank. It's just unbelievable. So hidden plain sight, and then it goes on, and there's always this word deep. You know what? That these secret space programs, and I don't know if you guys watch Mr. Jones. He had somebody on there the other day, Mr. Greer, talking about like literally the time the gig is up, and the watchers. They even mentioned this during the program. I thought it was interesting that and he's trying to talk about holographic technology and technological advancements, and talk about the heavens and the different dimensions, etc. The fall, the angelic building, all this stuff, and talking about rockets not deployed and rockets being moved away, and there's these meteorites coming down, the watchers come by and swing by and just swoosh it away, and all this things, it's just all nonsense, right? But I will say this deep state narrative, right? It's kind of interesting when there's, lasers, popping off, and then you have all these fires, places that should not be, and it's on the East Coast. You feel me? This is all went down in Long Island and New York. You feel me? On the East Coast. And then all of a sudden here in Kentucky and all over, from south, Tennessee to Florida, we have this mud rain event or whatever, right? So when you're talking about this, and I'm thinking about chemical reaction to the airwaves, cloud systems, however you want to mix it up and make yourself one big science project, right? So-called science. And what if that's like a tipping point for this stuff to, let's just say, bring the hellacious winds, right? And I think it's not good. It's not good. So here's where I am with this breakaway civilization, okay? There's a lot of evidence talking about that there's people that come in these craft. I kid you not. And they're triangle craft, and they're saying that it's us. They're saying it's humans, right? They're saying it's people are saying it's time travelers, future humans, past humans, whatever, and they're all coming in these triangle crafts. And I think it's just interesting to me. It's a perception thing. It's what you perceive when you go to Antarctica, and we're going to be talking about that on Sunday night. Antarctica, when you go to Antarctica and you think about what they're hiding down there with their treaty package, their little treaty package, it doesn't take a person to put two and two together to understand that we have military bases, underground facilities here that have UFO reversal programs. But let's just put it to fun here. It's not really what you think it is. And what I mean is that biological stance. When you look at quantum-fied and quantum fields, they're even saying that some of these craft are literally made out of, like, let's just say, tissue, so to speak. Hint, hint. Some sick, demented stuff is what I'm saying. Sick and demented, okay? So when I'm thinking about this and really just pondering on the idea, then the whole Mars topic, if you want to talk about Mars, I put a Facebook post up one day. I kid you guys not. I found it. I got to watch what I say on here. Well, let's just say I found something and I posted it, and then all of a sudden it goes taken down, right? And then speaking of Mars, there's people out there that, and I'm not trying to put people down. I really am not. But they'll have a picture of Mars, and it'll be the soil, and they'll say, yeah, that's real. That's real. It's authentic. And I'm like, well, yeah, it's real and authentic, but how can you prove it's from Mars and all this whole different, it's just, it's the insanity keeps on going. The thicker that the plot goes down the rabbit hole, people seem to jump on whatever cometh, right? So I almost did a show on it, but I just I'm not even going to waste my time because it's it's like soil with rocks. And look, please comment below and let me know if you all have information, seriously, that's authentic. If there's anything that I can be proven for a fact, I would really appreciate that. Because I'm trying to articulate and put this all in perspective. I can't grasp it. I can't grasp that. Yes, I see what Mars looks like in the sky when it's set there, and not too long ago Mars supposedly revealed itself, blah blah blah. But how can you say that this is a picture, and then there's people then reporting on that there's some CGI crud going on, and then back to the moon landing, a good old band used to sing, what was that, Made in a Hollywood Basement, you know what I mean? So, I guess Made in the Hollywood Basement threw some ayahuasca, some DMT, and putting a little black mask on you and open up a portal. Hello out there. Welcome to the insane world. There's a little hint without me getting into too much trouble. We summoning the UFOs right now, right? We're summoning with our minds when we're on some cray-cray, right? I guess the great shamans that we have supposedly now, they're all hidden. I guess they're messing up and the mud's coming down instead of the ships. You know what I'm saying? So it must be something going on in the firmament. So people make fun of me how I speak, but I cannot help it when I have two teeth getting ready to erupt in my mouth. Seriously. But yeah. So it's a train wreck. It's a train wreck. It really is. But yeah, reality check. There's no hard proof. Zero archaeology digs, declassified files, or satellite imagery showing breakaway civilization sipping cocktails with whatever. Just goes on around. There's supposedly some type of like humorous thing with this grok. His upgrades or its upgrades or whatever you want to call it. And what just baffles the mind, folks, is we are in the dark about everything right now. Does anybody, can I get anything reaction on it? Like, we are in the dark, and there's so much news being tossed to and fro, north, south, east, and west. You can't tell what longitude or latitude is. Nobody knows. Well, the news is moving so quickly. And if somebody goes on a huge podcast or whatever and has a bunch of followers, and Stephen Greer, I'm not saying that he's a liar. I'm not saying anything negative about him at all. I take it for what he's saying on face value and say, let's just see what happens. I mean, seems like he's studied this stuff out. I'm not going to disagree his so-called, all of his career. I'm not going to put him down, but when he says there's a breakaway civilization or some type of concept like that, and you wrap your mind around it, and all these whistleblowers are playing around with eggs and saying we can go to these locations and do a little, toss a few little mica rocks around and conductivity and just have a little dance around with the good old shaman tactics of old, and then voila, we have us some summoning the demons. It's kind of strange to me. It's really strange, and it just either I'm not trying to put these people down, but it's either are we that ignorant to like try to cross over to the veil that God doesn't want us in, to get knowledge and then just to be destroyed by knowledge, like fallen angel knowledge? Like literally, like why would you want that? Why would you want to have put on immortality when there was a great gift, a promise that was given because of Christ, right? But oh yeah, Brian, you're a conspiracy crazy person, that religious nut. No, that's not the case at all. I hold to my standard on my values. I don't deviate from what I believe. I want to happen on that great day at Calvary on Golgotha. Look it up, the place of the skull. And you have a man that took on all these different things and these applications and all this. He took on the flesh and all these different things, and he when you look at the biblical narrative, paid the sin debt. And you think about that reality and think about what we are and think about who we are and relate back to what we are and really ponder and test yourself, like literally judge yourself. Like, what are you doing? Like, why are you calling people names? Why are you saying these hatred things? Why are you angry? Why are you bitter? Why are you making up lies for? Show me the proof. Show me the receipts. You know what I'm saying? And people just go around, and it's so easy to get in that sinful state and be evil. Like, it really is. That's hard. It's hard for me to say that, but it really is. And people just go hook, line, and sinker and dig into that trench, and they just love it. They'll go in that cesspool and say that it's good, everything's good. No. But I will say, don't let this world rob your joy. But I will say, when you got stuff falling from the sky and people can't just eat, oh, that's nothing. They shrug it off. That's nothing. I don't know why. Why would you even worry about that? And then here 3 months from now, I can't grow anything in my garden. I don't know why. I've done everything I can. I don't know what happened. I don't know. I don't really know. And just they turn the switch off and they can't even remember like last week. And I'm sorry. And I'm not saying I'm special or anything, because I'm not. I'm not trying to belittle anybody. Everybody has a gift. But I try to be I try everything in my power to do all I can. It doesn't matter about my, all these infirmities I go through. I try my darndest to do what I can and bless everybody that listens here at Visual Disturbance. I really am. I'm trying my darndest, and I try to navigate through this insane matrix of lies. And I just don't. I hold true. I hold true to my values. But I'm not gonna. But I'm open-minded. I'm not gonna put nobody down. I'm approachable. You feel me? I'm approachable. I'll speak and talk about things. I'm not gonna be like, hey, are you from this country and you believe in this God? Well, I'm not gonna talk to you. That's not my mentality. I will speak and I will hold to what I believe, but I like to have a conversation. I always say that on here in Visual Disturbance, critical thinking conversation, and not, I don't like to go down the rabbit hole too far. Well, sometimes I do, but I love humanity is very interesting. and I like to hear people's thoughts and people's takes on things, but you don't have to be so crude and like destructive, because that's not being approachable. If somebody, is damaging with their tongue, it can cause a lot of damage in the long run, for sure. So, but that wasn't really where I was headed to during this program. I wasn't going to go in preacher mode, but that's kind of where I went. That's kind of where I went today. So, but yeah. So I'll interact with the chat real quick. Interact with the chat because my mouth is kind of giving out, unfortunately. If you're just now tuning in, welcome to Visual Disturbance, when we're talking about the mud rain falling from the sky. Nobody even questions why. I might have to make a country song on that one. I didn't mean, started rhyming, didn't even know. So my point is, just don't let this world deceive you, and don't let this and don't go and jump on anything that you hear and believe it to be true without actually going searching out yourself. That's the question. Or that's the question, and that's the advice I can give you. Especially when you see this, don't say, oh, that's nothing. That's mud rain, because that's what the powers that be said it was mud rain. It could be very well mud rain, but how did you come up with that? How did you come to that conclusion? What do you think it really is? Johnny Kirk, get her done, my friend. I'm praying you're doing well. I know that you was going through some things. I pray you're well. All kinds of people on here today. God bless you guys. James, I see you. Bless you, my friend. Nez Lover, welcome to the Visual Disturbance program, like always. Welcome if you're just now tuning in to the live stream. It's hard to go through all the comments. Yeah, I appreciate your all's time. I seen Leslie there. I appreciate your time. Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate your time too. I want to thank you all every time. And I genuinely mean this from the bottom of my heart. It's no fakery, no lies. When we go live and when we do programs, especially at FOJC, and even in Visual Disturbance, anything I do, I want to be a blessing to somebody. Hopefully it gets you out of this rut, because everything is insane right now. Yes, I bring some pretty hard stuff, and yes, I say a lot of things that it can really be not super happy. You know what I mean? It don't get you, you don't start to do a backflip and say, hey, I can't believe he just said something so epic. There's a lot of stuff I bring up here that can be very hard to hear, right? And a lot of people get sad, and that's not my intention. I just want people to be mindful and acknowledge and bring this stuff up, because I think it's actually important. I really do think it's important. Guitars, Guns, and Ghosts. I worked straight midnight shift, and I was leaving work, walked to my car, and it was covered in gray slime the other day. What? In Pennsylvania? Gray slime? Maybe Guitars, Guns, and Ghosts. Maybe the Grays with the Manikawabu. Maybe they came by the Pennsylvania over there at your parking lot, and maybe that was Grays. Maybe some gray sewage. You feel me? Oh, Craig Wolf, God bless you too, sir. But yeah, Baxton Stagg. I think that's how you. Yeah, forgive me if I said your name wrong. Remember, I'm having some issues today trying to articulate things. I'm about 70%. I'm not gonna lie to you. About 70%. And usually I have this thing that if I say to myself I'm lower than 70, it's hard. That's why I don't go live much. And let me reiterate, I love comments, negative and positive. I shrug them off my shoulders and just say, God bless you. Thank you for stopping by. I won't comment on your post if you're cussing me and screaming and saying very derogatory things toward me. I don't go down that. I just don't want to. I don't give nobody that type of. It just doesn't work. It's not good. It's just not good. It's not good. It's not good. Baxton, good job. I'm glad I said it right. But yeah, and I want to say something too. There was a couple people they written these awesome notes out of my P.O. box. And P.O. box is in the right-hand corner of the screen there in the description box, too. There's a lot of people send me these awesome notes. And I don't get an opportunity to reply because I have so much stuff going on. And forgive me, I really, truly, I pray that y'all forgive me for that. If you're listening to this, it's so hard for me to access the emails and reply to all the letters. I have apologized once, but I can apologize 10,000 more times because I'm so sorry that I haven't got back. But I have received every letter, and you all are pure blessing. It gives me a drive to continue on, and I'm not wrote off yet. I had a great-grandfather used to tell me all the time when I was a youngster. He said, I'm not dead yet. And he was like 80-something years old, like basically could do anything, okay? He could haul hay, stack hay, hang hay, chop hay, do it all, right? The man was a machine, okay? And he always said, I'm not dead yet. And he would say it to like 60-year-olds in the family. He was like, I'm not dead yet. These people need to get out of my way. And I pray when the dust clears that, and all said and done in my duration of life, that I'm a blessing to the world. I hope it's like that, and they'll be like, man, that guy was crazy. He was crazy cool, man. He was a crazy epic milkman. Then he fell off a milk truck and hurt himself, and then it was a horrible accident, and then he just kept on the path, man. He kept grinding his gears out until the drive shaft and everything fell at the back and transmission. It all just blowed out. But he's still going. So I try my best, folks. I really do. And it's not nothing to be like put me on a high pedestal. I really, truly do. I really do. And I hope it's all been a blessing to you guys. I really do. I really do. I hope so. I hope so. Craig Wolf, hauling hay, it'll break. Hey, listen, if nobody's ever hauled hay or did any kind of like agriculture or farming, do it a week. And whatever type of pain and suffering and whatever type of ideas you have as far as how the world works and how you think you can't do anything and you're like worthless, if you do that for a week, I promise you it will break you and you'll say, I can do anything. I can do anything if I can haul hay, stack hay, hang hay, or do any kind of farming work, and you endure to the end. I promise you can achieve anything, okay? I promise you that. I mean it. If you can pull that off, listen, if you can survive a milk route longer than a year, you will look at reality so much different because you will never see any. You'll be like, man, that ain't nothing. That ain't nothing. I've already sweated so bad and broke everything in my body. I'm like there's no way. I bet if you're a milkman, if you're anybody out there that's a milkman or anybody that's a truck driver, let me tell you, my hat goes off to you guys because beyond appreciative of what your all service is because you all go all out every single day, blood, sweat, and tears in the so-called powers that be, the individual, the so-called managers or the bosses will ridicule you and destroy your soul, and they'll try to break you. And don't let it happen. I promise you, you're doing beyond what you. And a lot of people don't say this, but you are appreciated when we got food on the table, milk. Literally, I wouldn't say some of the milk might not be good, but some of the the organic stuff, food. I mean, my hat goes off to you guys because you kill it every day. And your mentality, your mental state, your physical state has to be on top tier. You have to be top tier like an athlete, and you have to be on a military. You have almost like a military mindset to be able to work these jobs. I promise you that. And it will break you if you let it. But if you endure and you get past it, you can do anything. You can build a cabin. You can go out and do anything. Saw a tree down, just laugh about it. Don't even have to go to YouTube or tutorial. You can do anything. If you want to break a motor apart in a car because you're the milkman or the truck driver that drives 1,000 miles every day or 10,000 miles every week, you can endure and build anything. You're a survivalist, and you can. It's over. I'm telling you, I know what I'm talking about. I've seen it firsthand. I know people that have just gave it all they had, and listen. to endure this. Hey guys, I got a load here, and I got this mud smearing all over my product. And then when I pull the product out, I got this mud rain, the so-called narrative. And these men get into these stores and they get ridiculed because they got smudges and mud. I can't sell this. The store manager, whoever it is, would be like, "Why did you bring this to me? You blah blah blah." Say all kinds of bad language and just persecute the far out of them and drive them to the crazy train world. And people will just literally, they'll just desecrate you and think that you're not good a human being. I promise you, if you endure that and you put food on the table for your family and your children, my hat goes off to you, and I will take that to my grave. You people that have that mindset to put these people down, these people are not morons or idiots. They are articulated and probably more cognitive than the people that are putting people down. I mean, seriously. And you tractor trailer guys, oh man, jackknifing and everything else, and dealing with all these climate and all these different hazmat and Class A licensing and everything. These people are special. People don't understand if the food, listen, if the trucks stop, the food trough stops. Okay, no more nothing. There's men that go they go to big box stores. They do all these different things. These people are epic. Okay. These people have everything. They're super intelligent people. And if you're in that position and you're working a route, do not, I promise you, Visual Disturbance will tell you, you keep your head up and don't ever let nobody put you down. You take criticism, you take a direction, because you're supposed to be a good steward. You're supposed to have a good heart. You're not supposed to be trying to fight your boss or trying to get into a conflict. Wise as a serpent, harmless as a dove, and I promise you, in the long run, you will be blessed abundantly, and you'll keep your mind clear. None of this other nonsense will go out the well besides this mud stuff. The mud stuff, it might not make you clear. It might make you... it'll make you endure a little bit more of sadness, because you have to go through a bunch of loops and hurls to get through, just to get to your doors, to your 1,000 locations that you have to go to daily. I get it. So my hat goes off to you. I could go on a big rant about this, and I'm sorry it's a little bit more unorthodox program because I got a lot on my mind today, and I've been trying to endure this insanity with my mouth. And visually speaking, I am drained, but I am trying to get her done and trying to keep it going. But yeah, if there's anybody out there, I used to load milk trucks. Okay, Stone Mansion, excuse me, small lettering there. A Stone Manson, yes sir. You know what it's all about then. Listen, when you have milk crates falling down on top of you and about to break everything in you, it is very, 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 very scary stuff. Okay, it's very scary stuff, and it can really put a damper on your body. It's 1,800-pound pallets are no joke, and it can really put a damper on your soul. Okay, it can break you, and you have to be strong. You can be 5'11", and you can look like you can't do nothing. But I promise you this: when you lift that product every day and do it, you become a full-blown Olympian. Okay, you can go and run. Seriously, and God bless you if you never get hurt or have any kind of brain damage or any kind of other drama that goes into your life or get your hand chopped off. You can endure and go for the whole thing. If you can endure and put 40 years into these programs and these types of work occupations, I'm gonna tell you something. My hat goes off to you. If you can come unscathed with no knee damage, no ACL, no brain damage, nothing, extremities cut off, you, my friend, have been truly blessed. Truly blessed. But yeah. But that's enough of me ranting. I just wanted to big shout out to all the truck drivers out there. Nobody understands when that truck driver pops up to the dock and they offload the milk or product or whatever. That's how come you are surviving this insanity. The food that you can put on your table that you don't garden and pull out of your own ground, that you don't harvest yourself. Those people, and there's people that are harvesting food in other countries so we can have our food on their table. So my hat goes out to them too. There's some good hard worker people out there. And I like to see that. I appreciate seeing people with good work ethic, and it makes me, it just brings back old times to me. And I just think that, I just don't know, like the way things are going, horse and buggy might be if you have any kind of horse and buggy, any kind of information on that, and you had some past experiences and know that stuff and know how to work like that, you will come out shine like a diamond when it comes to if their systems have fallen in place. If systems go and fall by the wayside, you're going to be rocking it out, and you won't you won't have to worry about nothing. It'd be like you was on the show Lost. I don't know if anybody's ever watched that. And you just show up. You'd be like that guy, that bald-headed guy. I forgot his name. I think his last name was Locke. You'd be going around doing all kinds of stuff. You'd be building a civilization before the first month because of what you endured when you're doing these types of jobs and applications. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. So anyways, yeah, but be thankful, be of good cheer. Yeah, so everybody's in the chat here. I appreciate y'all being here, being attentively, being on this Visual Disturbance channel today, and dealing with me rant, plus give some information about the mud rain. Here's a question for y'all before I jump off here. Is the mud rain event upon us? If you're just now watching this, or if you're seeing it in the future, comment below in the description box and let me know what you guys think. Is the mud rain, is it an event that happens all the time? Is it rare like Grok says? Is it something that we need to like really kind of hone in and study it out and research? Is it really, let me know if your house or your place of business or wherever you go in your occupation, if you're on a milk truck or a 18-wheeler and you got enough mud that's coming out of nowhere and there's no rain to be seen, comment below. Let me know what you guys think. And, but yeah, mud rain event. Let me know what you guys think. Is it a phenomenon? Is it something real? Is it just a magical make-believe world of insanity? What is it? And let me know what you guys think in the comment box below. Thank you all for being attentive with me tonight or this evening. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, share this thing out. I don't do these type of programs much anymore. Just sporadic and jump on here, but I've enjoyed myself and I've tried to talk through it. Went an hour and 16 minutes and my jaw feels like it's going to fall off. And but I pray to God that you all come on over in about an hour and a half to the book review on FOJC Underground Church with Brother David. He's going to be doing a book review tonight. And with that being said, subscribe, hit all the links up in the description. We thank you so very much for being part of the Visual Disturbance community. What an honor it is to be here. I seriously mean that. And thank you for your time. All walks of life out there. I don't care if you're from New Zealand, wherever you're at, you are truly blessed. I mean, I'm truly blessed to have you all here. I really genuinely believe. I can't. I'm getting tongue-tied and emotional because I'm just so thankful for you guys. And I could not believe I got people from Australia and different countries listening to my content and being on this channel. I could not believe it. And I'm so thankful for that. I really am. You all, it means so much to me. I go through a lot daily. And it is an honor to get on here and be able to push and endure through it and be able to give you information that is, maybe it's thought-provoking, and hopefully it helps you. I really do. I hope it's a light, and I hope it's a blessing to you, even though I brought some dark stuff today. But I hope that you're blessed. I really do. So with that being said, I'm out of here. Visual Disturbance. I'll see you on the next one. I hope y'all have a blessed day. And until next time, I'm going to try to go live here more often. If my jaw doesn't fall off, next week I got to deal with some dental issues. I got to go and make some... let's just say I got to make some decisions. So see you on the next one, folks. And thank you all for being with me this whole entire time this evening on this live stream on the Mud Rain event is upon us. Let me know what you guys think. Find me on Facebook. Post pictures. Do me a favor. Post pictures on my Twitter page, on my X page. Help me. Email me. My email is at the very bottom. I will post it with the first name on it. I will post it on. If there's a bunch of mud rain out in your all's area, send me the pictures. I will post them on the Facebook. That would be awesome. Or whatever social media platform. I'll just put first name and say Dakota, North Dakota, or wherever. If it's out west, let me know. That would be epic if you all could do that for me. But until next time, see you on the next one. Visual Disturbance, I'm out of here. The mud rain event is upon us. Until next time, Visual Disturbance, I am out of here.
got one that can see.